what do I want to accomplish? And why haven't I accomplished it? I have the vision boards, I have the intentions, I do the journaling, I do the reading, right? And I realized that I was lacking. That's my name. Welcome to Fire Life. And I'm about to journal. My pen dropped. My first physical entry, did a little art on the first page. That was my first entry. Life is a blessing. God is amazing. Trust, 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 trust. Let's do this. And here I am, back at it again. Journaling. I think journaling is very important. I was listening to a podcast. It was a live conference, and the person in the audience was like, I hear you guys talking about, showing up for yourself, being present, and the word journaling came up a lot. And she was asking, but how do I journal? And as someone that has journaled a majority of my life, it just came naturally to me. And I didn't think about someone who doesn't know how to journal, that they would struggle with how to start. I make it a point, I incorporate journaling into my day as often as I can. And when I'm not able to write in here, a folder in my notes app, to where I just jot down thoughts, I jot down ideas, gratitude, wins. But when it began to become a consistent everyday thing was when I simply just started listing out my wins, starting there. And then it shifted into gratitude. And that resonated more with me simply because I feel like when I start my day with gratitude, I feel more optimistic. I have a different lens. I'm approaching the day with a different lens. I'm coming at it from a place of gratitude, but I'm also coming at it from a place of just love, appreciation, optimism, as I mentioned, because I'm looking at what I've accomplished or what I've done or who's in my life or the things I have. And I realize how much I am taken care of and how much I am covered and safe and blessed. And it doesn't mean those that don't have these things aren't blessed or covered or safe. It just, for me personally, my mindset, it's a reminder that everything is going to be okay. This is God's plan, God's timing. You just need to show up and do the work. And that's truly my theme this year, is showing up and doing the work. And one of the ways for me to build that foundation and to have a strong starting point through my day, it is through journaling. And I've realized that when I led with gratitude, I felt like I wasn't leading with negativity. And then when I celebrated my wins, it reminded me of the journey versus delaying my gratitude or delaying my gratification, which in part does happen. But ultimately, if I have a big goal and I'm not acknowledging, whether you acknowledge or celebrate, to me it's the same thing, what you're able to accomplish in between, you're less likely to resent the process or feel like you're not getting anywhere, because you have these little reminders, these little boosts along the way. It's like when you get gas on a road trip. There aren't many road trips beyond 5 hours that you could just go all the way through without stopping for gas or to recharge your car. If you can, good for you. But majority of the time, we have to stop, recharge, whether it's to use the bathroom, get a snack, take a deep breath, stretch. And that's the same thing when it comes to life. Taking the time to reassess, to audit, right? And a part of that for me has been through journaling. And it helps me to slow down, to be honest. Let's talk about slowing down the process. Life be lifing. We all know that. And at the top of this year, it's very much new year, new me. I get it. We all want to be more consistent. We all want to lose weight. Believe me, I got the 20-pounder on my vision board in my mind, on my goals. I realized, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I don't want to go about it by just saying I want to lose 20 pounds, right? I want to, like, the process in which I get to 20 pounds is, how do I see it fit for my life? Is it 20 pounds? I want to lose 20 pounds in muscle. Is it I want to lose 20 pounds in fat? Is it I want to lose 20 pounds in my thighs, in my arms? So you have to be very specific. And for me, it's like, okay, well, my thighs, I could lose, I don't know where the weight's going to drop, but we all know everyone's trouble areas is the stomach. And for me, it's like, I sit all day. So let me make my desk a standing desk. And that's just one way of doing it. All right, I want my core to be stronger. Let me look up some core exercises. Let me look up some ab or exercises. What are some foods I can eat to help me feel more full instead of constantly snacking, right? And then creating a system. And that's why I went back to reading Atomic Habits. But this time around, I have a note in there from 2021 when I first read Atomic Habits. And basically, I remember reading it and it changing my life. And it got me to become a more avid reader, as well as implement those habits and mindsets. And it says, tiny changes, remarkable results. And that's a concept I've always embraced, but I strayed away from it over the last few years. So in 2021 was the year I really started to make that shift of like, what am I doing with my career? What am I doing with my life? Where am I going? What do I want to accomplish? And why haven't I accomplished it? I have the vision boards, I have the intentions, I do the journaling, I do the reading, right? And I realized that I was lacking the systems. And I hate that word. I'm going to do a whole other video on words I've removed from my life. But the word systems, I had to eliminate it from my life because when I had a job at an office, this was maybe 10 years ago. There was a bunch of us working in the office, all women of color. And there was this one Caucasian woman that organized this meeting. Mind you, we all started, I think at that time at 8 o'clock. I think the office opened at 8. She wanted to meet at 7 a.m. I remember it being like an hour before the office even opened. And she made it a point to call all of us. And she was not our manager. She was not the owner. She wasn't a supervisor, not even an assistant manager, nothing. She was doing the same job I was doing. She just didn't feel like it was getting anywhere. So she basically used that entire meeting to yell at us. And I know she was triggered, looking back at it now with the information and knowledge I have. I get she was triggered, but at the same time, she was also outnumbered because all of us were friends and she wasn't. Throughout the meeting, she kept repeating the word system. We need systems. And I just felt like, I'm not a child, first of all. And then what are these systems you're talking about? Give us an example. So ever since then, I've just lacked the systems and the organization. So partially she was right. Yes, you do need systems. And systems is just another fancy word for order. Like the order you're going to do things. You wake up, you go brush your teeth, use the bath, or you wake up, you go use the bathroom, wash your hands, brush your teeth. That's a system of hygiene, right? Some people may shower, come back, fix your bed. Maybe you put your clothes out the night before to save you time and energy. Those are all systems, right? So when it came to life, and now I'm rereading Atomic Habits, instead of just reading the book all the way through and not applying anything, I'm slowing things down. I started last week, reading the first chapter, and I said, I'm not going to read the next chapter until this sinks in my brain, until I apply it to me personally and into my business. And the first chapter was about systems. So I read the first chapter and I was like, okay, where in my business and in my life am I lacking systems, and what systems are working? And I just went through the list. And the same thing can go for journaling and your morning routine. If you have a routine or rituals, is how are you working on yourself daily? And one of the things I do outside of journaling in order to get my day started right is I fix my bed. It's a small commitment, but to me, I mean, it looks great when you're, after hard days of work or, life, and you just come home and your bed is clean, even if everything around it is chaotic. Something about keeping that promise to yourself is empowering. And I've noticed that if I at least slow down, give myself a couple of minutes, 5 minutes if I really want to crease, the folds in the bed and the pillow, fluff up the pillows, give myself 2 to 5 minutes every day to just commit to, I'm going to fix my bed. It's like that saying, messy bed, messy head. It's a chaos, right? You just choosing chaos at that point. It's like, if I can at least commit to fixing my bed, then I know I've at least given myself that time. And then you build on that. You start with making the bed. The fixing the bed isn't going to just magically give you all the riches, pay off your debts. It's the habit building. And when it comes to journaling or morning routines, whether it's a workout or whatever it is, new year, new me, right? For me, journaling has been the ultimate savior in times where I am just congested in my mind and there's a traffic jam up there and I just need to clear some of that energy out. I also notice when I say things out loud, I'm more likely to understand where I'm coming from and not just blurt ideas out and just keep starting new ideas over and over again, because I can get like that. So journaling helps me to refocus, dial in, lock in, and ultimately just be present. Just be present. I'm learning to trust more throughout this process because there's so much out of my control. All of it is out of my control. But again, if I'm present in the journal, I'm good. So when it comes to starting, I know I've kind of rambled throughout this video, and that's okay because I'm talking from the heart. I didn't plan on talking this long. I didn't plan on talking about this. Honestly, I was just going to journal and move on. But I felt something in my heart. I wanted to talk about it. So here we are. But when it comes to new year, new me, taking actions, or how do I journal? Where do I start the healing process? Just start small. I start every journal I start every journal entry with I am grateful. And I, at minimum, list 3 things I'm grateful. And it could be, I am grateful for water. I am grateful for this journal. I am grateful for this pen. I to give you some examples, I say I am grateful for, I'm about to sneeze, so I am grateful for the ability to sneeze, right? But I am grateful for life. I am grateful for my senses. I am grateful for family, friends, community. And then the more you get in the habit of appreciating yourself, these people, these things, it will start to unlock other things you want to talk about, whether it's painful, celebratory. It just allows you to get comfortable with this type of vulnerability, is what I've learned. You may have a totally different experience. It may inspire you to write a book. It may inspire you to start a business. It may inspire you to ask for that raise. It may inspire you to take going to the gym or working out more seriously, starting that business, quitting your job, all of those things. You just never know. Overcoming your fears. One of the things that I also learned in this last year, especially at the end of the year, is a lot of my inconsistencies were a result of lack of systems, 1, and then 2, resistance, allowing resistance to win. I'm going to put another book right here that I read that even if you just read half of it, I feel like it's going to impact you in a way and help you to see life in a way that you think, oh, that ain't me. And then as you're reading it, you're like, oh my God, that is me. There's so much resistance that we're unaware of that keeps us from being vulnerable, putting our ego to the side, taking those leaps of faith. We can be people pleasers at the same time. people pleasing is definitely something I need to work on. And what I'm getting at is the resistance towards personal growth is often replaced with, well, if I go help someone else, I don't have to deal with my stuff. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff I'm still dealing with. But as I'm growing more aware of that resistance, I feel like even in just the last 3 weeks after reading that book, The War of Art, not to be mistaken for the art of war, but it talks all about just being resistant, and that being the cause of why we're not creative, why we're not faithful to our commitments. You know, and again, new year, new me, right? So I just wanted to come on here and talk about journaling, and somehow it veered off into habits and resistance and trust. But I hope this message resonates with you. I think embracing time for yourself, be it 5 minutes, 5 hours, whatever you can fit into your schedule, and that is helpful to your well-being, to be able to show up for others when you are able to help them. Give that time for yourself. Slow down. Be still. Find time to be still. Those 5 minutes every day will make a world of a difference. 24 hours of just going, giving, pleasing, and you didn't give yourself anything. You got to give yourself something. Drink water. Be still. Look up a 5-minute meditation, 5-minute breath work exercise, 5 minutes of journaling. Set a timer. Put on your favorite music or sit in silence, whatever it is you need. Start with 5 minutes. Fix your bed. Buy new sheets. Whatever it is you need. Allow yourself to experience that, so then you can start to, again, build the confidence in being vulnerable and showing up for yourself and committing to whatever it is you want to accomplish this year. And circling back to me, you know, I can easily say, oh yeah, my plan to lose 20 pounds this year. You know, it sounds good. But where we fall off is acknowledging, okay, 20 pounds, losing weight isn't the biggest mountain I'm going to climb. It's how did I gain those 20 pounds in the first place that got me? What got me there? What habits got me there? And what habits, again, am I going to have to remove and eliminate? Let me jot them down in my journal. You can have a weight loss journal. You can have specific journals for whatever it is you're going through. I have tons and tons of journals. I'm actually going to create a journal to sell because I want people to have access to this form of mental health and wellness, therapy, if you will. Also therapy. I'm going to get into therapy in a totally different video because this is getting longer than I even planned. But if you made it this far in the video, and if all of this or any of this, maybe even none of it, but I hope some of it resonates with you, this has been my journey in terms of being more consistent, taking action, and actually yielding the results I want to see. And that requires you to be still, to understand your time, your energy, who you are, who you want to be, what you want to feel, who you want to be surrounded with, and embracing the hard. Working on being able to handle the hard stuff. You're going to cry, you're going to fail, you're also going to win and celebrate. And those tears aren't always going to be sad tears, they're going to be happy tears. But there's only one way to find out, and that's if you do the work. So, this was my first vlog of the year. More to come. As you may or may not notice, I've been more consistent on here, and I'm committing myself to 2 vlogs a month. I don't want to overextend myself because I have other projects I need to do. I don't want to overextend myself to the point where I fall off. I'm doing what works best for me. Yeah, the algorithm says post every week, post every day. No, that's the quickest route to burnout. What works for me is 2 vlogs a month, and we'll see what happens. You can also follow me on the social media at FireLife everywhere, easy peasy. But until then, I went on and on in this one. This is a good one. For me, it was therapeutic for me. If you got something out of this, leave it in the comments. What stood out to you? And if you need help with journaling, what to say, let me know. Also, a simple Google search, journal prompts. I also, what helps is you can get these journals that have like writing prompts. Those are good too. When I'm stuck, I'll go to those and just start writing. And it's kind of cool because it'll take you to a different place that you didn't start off with. But I love writing. I love journaling. I think it's healing. I think it's a big part of my healing journey. And whatever you need to incorporate in your life to bring more ease into your healing journey, even when it gets rocky, I encourage you to stick to it and just continue to get 1% better every day. You don't have to be 100% better every day, just 1%. And you will see a major difference. And all we could focus on and control is right now. All I can control is when I'm going to stop talking and hit the stop button and then edit this video and record it. That's all. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheers to a new year. And let's get to it. Trust God, trust yourself, trust the process, and do the work. And remember, we're not complaining, we're embracing. This is Fire Life. Fearless individuality yields abundant healing. Talk soon. Get you a journal.